Welcome, my name is Sandy Doss, and in this video, we're going to explore the Woodcock Reading Mastery Test, 3rd edition. This video will include the purpose, administration procedures, scoring, and interpretation. My goal is to provide you with a clear overview of this assessment and how it informs reading instruction. The Woodcock Reading Mastery Test, 3rd edition, is a comprehensive set of 9 individually administered reading tests. It is designed for both children and adults that range from 4 years and 6 months to 79 years and 11 months, so roughly 4.5 years old to almost 80 years old. It is a norm-referenced assessment that measures reading readiness, basic skills, and comprehension. It is used to identify strengths and weaknesses that will guide instruction. The purpose of this assessment that you will see illustrated in the diagram is how the Woodcock Reading Mastery Test 3rd edition informs instruction. So first, the assessment identifies where the student's reading strengths and weaknesses are. Then it serves to diagnose those reading difficulties, track student growth, and differentiate reading subskills such as phonological awareness, decoding, fluency, and comprehension. That finally, given all of this information, then guides interventions, targeted reading instruction, and progress monitoring using Form A and Form B. The demonstration of the assessment procedure includes subtests that assess a broad range of reading skills, including decoding, comprehension, phonological awareness, rapid naming, and fluency. Administration is done one-on-one individually in a very quiet space using pencil and paper. It does follow the basal and ceiling rules, which means that as long as the student is answering them correctly, you will continue. But if they answer 3 incorrectly, you discontinue. However, you want to be sure that you don't stop in the middle of the assessment subtest as to if the student is continuously answering them wrong. You don't want them to become overwhelmed. So you'll just continue through there. You just won't give a score for those. You will stop that score where their last incorrect, 3 in a row incorrect was. So as you can see in this picture right here, it does show a demonstration, visual demonstration of how the one-on-one assessment would take place. So you would have the table with the 2 chairs. You want to make sure that the corner of that table is in between you and the student that you are assessing. You want to be sure that you can observe what they are doing, but they are not able to see your clipboard. Forms A and B allow educators to monitor progress over time. Let's see. You want to be sure that you want to be sure that you maintain a pleasant and positive atmosphere during the test. So be sure to smile and maintain eye contact with the student that you're assessing. But you also want to build that relationship and have periodic conversation so that they feel at ease. And that is all on that one. Let's continue to the next slide. So for the scoring, you'll see that the subtests are, you'll have the raw score. The raw score is then converted to the standard scores, percentiles, age grade equivalents, the growth scale and the growth scale values. And then you'll see that the cluster scores are then converted to readiness, basic skills, reading comprehension, and then the overall total reading. So raw scores are converted into standard scores, percentiles, age and grade equivalent, and then the growth scales. Scores can be combined into clusters, including readiness, basic skills, reading comprehension, and then the total reading. These scores do provide a clear picture of the student's reading abilities and the areas that are needing support. We are encouraged to record responses and score items as they're administered. This is in a way to have a clear record of which items were actually administered and help to avoid accidentally skipping items. But more importantly, this allows us to monitor the scores during administration to determine whether to drop back to an earlier start point or to continue testing forward or discontinue testing altogether. The responses from all tests except the oral reading fluency should be recorded on the primary record form. Oral reading fluency utilizes its own record form that captures reading errors, fluency rates, and administration time. Then the interpretation of the results. The interpretation, so you have your assessment, the scoring, interpretation that guides instruction. So the cluster and subtest scores do guide instruction and interventions. So these results help us as educators to guide instruction and plan targeted interventions. The cluster and subtest scores do identify specific reading deficits, and analyzing these errors do provide with additional diagnostic insight. They give us more of what the student's strengths and weaknesses are. Results should also be considered alongside other assessments for a complete understanding of the student's reading ability. The interpretation of the results do include an analysis of the examinee's errors and test behaviors. You want to be sure that you are documenting their behavior during the assessment, and a description of the examinee's level of development, a description of the examinee's quality of performance, and the comparison of her or him to their peers to determine the examinee's position in a group. And the hierarchy is represented in 4 different levels. If you would like more information on this particular assessment, I've added the references that I used for this information, and you can there are a couple of different videos on YouTube also that you could get more information as well. Thank you.